Let's have a look at how to configure a network service based on SLA and cloud native CATO, the only vendor made with SASE since birth. Through CATO Networks, a vendor that inspired the coined word SASE announced by Gartner in 2019. Prior to explanation, let's check whether or not CATO really meets the unified SASE conditions. The following is a single-pass cloud engine running on all parts of CATO. All user traffic is classified by various criteria, and it is handled access, network, and security in a single-pass cloud engine. That is an evidence of convergence. This is the most convincing evidence called a single software stack. Another evidence of the perfectly convergent single software stack can be seen in the following CATO screen. This is CATO's single management plane. Here, it can apply interrelated policies to all functions of SASE. It can be set network, access, and security policies. This is the single policy repository. And here's another very important evidence of SASE's convergence on this screen. This was a Gartner SASE concept, but it's not explicitly defined in Dell or Group's unified SASE concept. It is a single data lake. It is because everything that happens at the edge of all companies deployed around the world needs to be managed in one data lake. So you can easily check and manage everything on one screen. This screen also proves that CATO has a single data lake. Topology of this screen shows information of all connected edges around the world. It can be seen where the edge is, what pub is connected to what ISP it is using, and the endpoint information all at a glance. And you can recombine and see content you want in real time. And as you can see on the left side, you can see all events happening around the world, along with all sites, all remote users, all security-related intelligence, and the traffic and the routing in all directions. It is also an evidence to the complete visibility into a fully converged architecture that only a true single data lake can have. The strategy suggested by CATO to the companies is to remove all point solution boxes related to the network and the network security, thereby improving the network capability while minimizing the failure and the management burden. As shown in the following figure, through CATO Cloud, it simplifies the company's IT infrastructure by replacing the complex point solutions that currently connect all the edges of the company. And through this, one service is provided to administrators who have lost control due to complexity. It is a strategy to provide benefit closer to innovation that can restore control over IT infrastructure as if it were controlled from a console. Replace the entire IT infrastructure with CATO Cloud, or replace some with CATO Cloud while maintaining the existing infrastructure. To give flexibility to this customer strategy, CATO Cloud also provides dynamic routing functions such as static routing and BGP for interworking with the existing infrastructure. If you look at this picture, you can also see CATO's strategy for security CATO. Cloud does not say that they can do all security functions. For example, as you can see, there is no antivirus installed on the endpoint, and there is also no forensic functions installed and operated in a special section. In other words, it provides security related to user traffic, but does not engage in viruses that occur in users' endpoint itself, and threatening the traffic can be removed in advance. But specialized vendors are responsible for the customer's infection. In this respect, we think CATO's strategy has very practical efficiency. We'd like to briefly look at what point solutions CATO Cloud, which is cloud native, can replace one by one. It is network as a service. The biggest feature of CATO is that it is building its own global backbone along all ports in the world. This allows customers to have a private network that provides stable performance like MPLS. This means you can have a physical one built with MPLS lines. It also replaces the lines that configure the underlay in the global network infrastructure of the company. Of course, these underlays are also not possibly used but provide flexibility for customers to choose. On top of that, it provides a software-defined network function with overlay. It provides optimal routing and WAN optimization function, cloud resources, as well as on-premises on a robust underlay. Also, unlike traditional networks, these services can individually provide the same benefit to all remote access users. Based on these network services, this is to provide network security services on top of them. The provided service eliminates all the corresponding point solutions by providing NG firewall, SWG, IPS, and next generation antivirus, IPS, CASB, data loss prevention, and device posture. Here, there is an important difference from the existing point solutions on third vendor SASE. If most SASE vendors simply connect the WAN section with SD1, and with the way of jumping security service, SSE, on the internet, the security is concentrated on north-south traffic. CATO Cloud expands network security services to east-west traffic, and it means to have an architecture that monitors, analyzes, and secures equally for all traffic of companies. This purpose, CATO Cloud has the same security functions provided for the WAN section and the Internet section, but allows different policy settings for security policies that are inevitably different in reality. We think that CATO has a really outstanding differentiation that completely addresses the complexities and difficulties that many companies had to implement. Of course, Palo Alto and Versa Networks and other vendors say that high-performance on-premises boxes can be equipped with security functions such as firewall, but of course, these architectures are not naturally called cloud-native. Next is a point solution replacement for cloud integration. This is also called cloud optimization, and it can be said that is directly related to cloud cost reduction. Multiple point solutions are used to achieve stable access and performance implementation to corporate cloud data centers. For example, if stable connection performance is not guaranteed, business productivity may be adversely affected, so it is often necessary to configure additional cloud data centers on the user side or to additionally purchase various services that are being sold at high prices by CSPs. CATO Cloud has a CATO POP that is paired with major CSPs, and the corresponding POPs can be used in egress point according to customers' needs. As a result, users will have the benefit of accessing CATO and providing an optimal access route and performance through CATO's global backbone. Not only CATO's cloud integration can reduce cloud cost because CSPs do not need to use separate services such as Aviatrix, Azure Express Route, and AWS Direct Connect, which are sold as additional services to improve their cloud access performance. But it is possible to enjoy the outstanding benefit of making the cloud access environment very simple. Some SASE vendors say that their POPs are deployed in the same data center as Equinix, so cloud connectivity is good. This is half right and half wrong. Equinix data centers has expensive tier 1 carriers. However, if you do not receive internet exchange service with an additional cost, you cannot guarantee bandwidth on the internet line that provided SLA. It is because Equinix can't offer benefit to all the customers who are moved in while providing costly enterprise internet. In conclusion, by residing in Equinix itself cannot have a cloud integration effect, and extra money should be paid. A good example of this, as you may know well, is the case about the SSE vendors. Their nodes are located in the Equinix data center, but the internet line connected to the outside is an example of connecting and serving through domestic ISP. After all, instead of using the high-speed internet line provided by Equinix, they are using much cheaper internet line and make false claims that internet is packed because it is in Equinix. Following is the removal of point solutions related to GTNA. Into the CATO architecture explained above, all edges can be connected and all security functions, including NG firewall, are applied to traffic in all directions of the edge. In WAN security, the policy is applied one by one based on all block, and in internet security, blocking policy is applied one by one based on all allow. This policy is completely applied on the basis of identity. In other words, CATO Cloud does not provide simple network services, but it is made a zero-trust architecture itself. Differentiated outstanding ability and differentiation from other GTNAs is the GTNA architecture that contains network services to provide stable access performance and enables well-made and convenient policy management. Countries with unstable internet performance such as China, Vietnam, and the Middle East, and South America, it can be said that it is the only merit of CATO SASE that remote workers can be provided with stable performance and a secure remote access environment. As far as we are concerned, there are no GTNA that offers this combination of benefits. Finally, it is unified management. The difference from other vendors is that CATO, configured with a single pass engine, provides a powerful, detailed, and convenient single console that perfectly controls a single point solution. What we have explained so far is not for CATO's marketing. This is an explanation about how CATO Cloud provides the part of benefit and innovation talked by Gartner. These innovations are also reflected in CATO's sale. Compares CATO's annual recurring revenue to that of other popular vendors. Annual recurring revenue can be seen to increase rapidly from $1 million to $100 million for 5 years, from 2016 to 2022. When Gartner announced the framework for SASE in 2019, it was a natural success in terms of the adoption of CATO's vision. In Gartner's announcement, CATO's vision is Gartner's vision for SASE, saying that while many SASE vendors today follow the framework to get the full SASE, CATO means that it is already a sample vendor that should be viewed as the ultimate goal of these SASE vendors. Most of the SASE vendors are going through the framework execution phase. Recently, it has developed into single vendor SASE, and unified SASE has started to emerge from that as well. Its ultimate goal is SASE since birth like CATO. CATO already has a complete CATO SASE cloud architecture. SASE has been called the most outstanding network security innovation since the next generation firewall 17 years ago. Among them, CATO SASE can be said the most advanced leader and the vendor with the highest growth. Cisco Technology, which actually introduced CATO, said in high praise, CATO provides us with the flexibility to integrate our WAN, Internet, and remote access solutions into one well-organized package to manage as a small team. There has never been a package like this. The manager of a large domestic customer also said, when we replaced our global VPN, which we have been using and used for a long time with CATO, we were concerned about the migration of IT infrastructure and the inconvenience of users. However, after a pilot deployment of about 100 people, the deployment was completed in just 1 month after the full-scale conversion started, and miraculously our goal remote users are higher than in the past. We are talking about our experiences. CATO's rapid growth has been compared to LinkedIn's success. Although there was marketing disadvantages as an Israeli vendor, it has attracted more than 1,500 corporate customers across 150 countries in just 5 years, connects more than 23,000 branches, and it used by more than 450,000 remote users. It has grown to nearly 100% this year alone. Near Japan, it has grown by more than 200%, and it is growing rapidly in Korea, attracting several large company customers. Despite the lack of marketing, it is growing remarkably. This growth rate is usually faster than the consumer-oriented brands that are shown usually in the fastest growth rate. We will wrap up episode. Many SASE vendors claim that SASE is a framework for moving towards SASE. However, as SASE since birth, CATO already has a complete SASE architecture. Therefore, CATO does not view as a framework to SASE. CATO has already been recognized for its value by many customers, and it is enjoying remarkable success. You should make it a very important selection factor whether you can guarantee smooth performance in migrating your existing IT infrastructures to SASE while raising your network security level, rather than the SASE vendor's brilliant explanation. Even introducing great point solution, you have experienced a surge in complexity due to poor integration and loss of flow. Even in SASE, which is said to address this issue, while you have had such experience, it is SASE that cannot provide the benefit possessed by SASE, and there is no need to change it into a new trend in such a SASE. Because SASE is not a new technology that needs to be introduced, but a new architecture that can deliver many related benefits by converging network and network services into one, making it simple and easy to operate. If there are no such benefits, and existing point solutions can be better. Gartner also said that the SASE vendors are separated from SASE and become more specialized. But in the end, if you really don't want to change to SASE, don't call it SASE uselessly, but also tell them to do well in the market where they were good. Those who have experienced CATO will emphasize that we are not criticizing too harshly. So far, in 3 episodes, we have explained the changes in the SASE market and the future appearance. You should never select a SASE vendor that is learning the framework. We can tell you that the best strategy for introducing right SASE is to wait and choose a vendor who has been reborn as SASE since birth. Of course, we can confidently say that choosing CATO networks, which is currently SASE since birth, is one of the best strategies. Moreover, CATO networks, which is at the forefront of SASE, is also constantly evolving, so it can be said that it is a strategy to preempt the point to have a more advanced IT infrastructure. Thank you.